Hey Heartbreakers! So this is another Storytime special. My producers came up with some questions that lead to very interesting stories, of course. And then after that, I'm going to answer some fan questions. So stay tuned. So question number 1, what is the worst and best party you've been to? Honestly, any party for a rapper is trash. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I've never really been to these parties, but when athletes are traveling, they have like these little parties in their hotel rooms that where the wives and girlfriends don't see, and then they'll make the girls put the phone in like a basket, so like the girls can't record and tell the wives and the girlfriends. Unfortunately, I've never been to them, but I would say that that would totally hands down be like the worst party story, even though that wasn't the question, and who knows what goes on there. Also, company parties, like these companies that are like, okay, it's Art Basel or it's, swim week. I don't know. They just always think that it's a good idea to throw a party, and nobody goes to parties anymore. They're so boring. When you see me at them, just know that I'm bored. Okay, next question. The worst way a friend has betrayed me. Well, obviously, I've had a friend, I've talked about it before, that slept with my favorite, like, hookup male friend that I had for 7 years. That was actually really heartbreaking for me because I couldn't look at him the same. I talked about it before, but he didn't know that it was my friend, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. Yeah, that was very upsetting for me because I lost my number one hookup that I was really comfortable with. And then I had a friend that stole my favorite butterfly necklace, and I know she did it because I put it in a very specific spot that only she saw, that literally nobody would find. Yeah, she stole my favorite butterfly necklace. Just so you know, I know. Okay? Because I know she listens to this stuff. Okay. The best or most petty revenge you've ever gotten before. One time... One time I was getting divorced and the guy wouldn't sign the papers, so I sent him, he lived in a different country, and I sent him this paperwork. I served him, and this was really messed up for me to do, but I was only like 19 and I really wanted to get divorced, but I wanted it to be annulled, actually. That's what I was trying to do at first. So I served him with the papers. I put in the papers that we never consummated the marriage because I always had to use a strap-on. And so it technically doesn't count as consummating the marriage, so I could get the annulment, because that's one way that you're able to get an annulment, is if you never consummated your marriage. And so then he texted and he was like, you think you're funny? You think you're funny? But yeah, I guess I would be like a little bit of some revenge just to embarrass someone. I kind of feel bad now saying that out loud that I did that. Whatever. The best drama you've got to witness but not be a part of. There was a celebrity singer, whatever. He used to sleep with all of the girls in the industry, not me, just to clarify. A handful of them. He gave them all, I think it was gonorrhea, and he infected the whole industry because it goes so quick when one person gets it and it's not. So imagine like 5 people having it. We almost had to shut down. Like gonorrhea got so bad that we almost went into a moratorium just to clean it up. I wish I could drop his name. Sicko. Top 3 things you've crossed off your bucket list. I really wanted to do skydiving, and I did that last year, like a year and a half ago, and it was so scary and not worth it. I'm not gonna lie. It was outside of my comfort level for sure. I was really crying. Once you get up in the air, they don't let you stay on the plane, by the way. So you have to jump. At least that's where I went. They told me I had to jump. It felt honestly like suicidal for me. Like once I got up there, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then another one is I just actually shot the cover of In Style magazine, and that comes out in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. And yeah, that was one of my big bucket list things this year, was that specific magazine. And I worked very hard to get it because of my, my past. It's not that easy crossing over to mainstream. And then I guess I sold this house, but I bought a house last year, and that's all I ever wanted in life, was to have like a house that I owned. Even though, like I said, I sold it, I still am checking it off of my bucket list. And maybe I'll put it back on there and to rebuy another home in a different state. But yeah. Best and worst surprise you've ever gotten. My best, and this is going to make me sound materialistic, but one time, this old man surprised me with a purple ostrich Birkin. I told him, like, as a joke, I was like, I wanted this very specific purple that I knew was really hard to find, and he found it that same day and brought it to me the next day. And I still have the bag today. I barely use it. I love that bag. The worst surprise, maybe like... I wanted to say accidentally getting pregnant. It's like the worst surprise ever. Like, literally, it's the worst. I don't know. Worst surprise would be when you get cheated on. That's like the worst surprise. Is it supposed to be someone like wanting to do something nice and then you don't like it? Is that the question? Or just like you're shocked in general? Because I'm definitely going to say being cheated on Valentine's Day. That was my Valentine's Day present one year. Okay, next one. Weirdest travel experience in the US or abroad. You know, my real name actually got leaked because I was in Malaysia and I was in the airport and one of the staff members came up and was like, "Can I check your passport?" And I was like, okay, but I hadn't even checked my bag yet. They took a photo of it on their phone and I was like, that's interesting that that guy did that. But again, I'm in a foreign country. Later that night, the guy DM'd me and was like, I was the one that checked your passport at the airport, blah, 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 sent me a photo of my passport. And I was like, okay, so now my identity is stolen. Good. That was the weirdest thing. That was in Malaysia. And then for the US, I got kicked out of a hotel once in Philadelphia because my ex-husband kept calling. He would stalk every single place that I would travel to. And he would stalk me and he would call each place and tell them just like horrific lies that I was doing in the room. And I used to feature dance, just to clarify. And I got kicked out of the hotel. They called me. The security was like, you gotta go right now. I don't know what he told them. I never asked. I was just too scared. And yeah, that was probably the worst. But I just ended up riding the train to New York instead, which is way better. Something you can't live without. Red Bull. I love Red Bull. I love Red Bull. I drink it every day, which I shouldn't. And again, my religious background. I cannot live without some type of like religion or like spiritual connection. It really, like, going back to my cover for In Style, I actually really prayed hard for that for a couple of months. And it's crazy that the opportunity just like, you know, fell into my lap. Honestly, someone just offered it to me and I ended up doing it. And yeah, I mean, those are two things in my Hitachi. Which I don't know if Ryan knows what that is. Do you know what a Hitachi is? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because I'm obsessed. Yep, so those are my 3 things. Okay, guys, so I actually reached out on my Instagram. I wanted to try something new. Typically, I do it on Twitter, but I wanted to ask like 2 questions that for me are important. One of them is, what's your biggest ick that prevents you from wanting to further into a relationship with someone? Somebody said clingy and over-attached, needing to know where someone is at all time, getting upset if someone doesn't message back immediately or 100 times throughout the day. That is an ick for me. That really turns me off. I'm someone that's very busy all the time, and I don't want to have to report back to someone, especially when I'm not doing anything wrong. It really feels clingy to me. I've had relationships in the past where I've ignored that and played too much into it, and it feels way too possessive for me. Way, way, way too possessive. So I really agree with that. Someone also said her inability to disassociate herself with her toxic co-workers and how much they really influence her actions and behaviors. That's an ick for me also. I'm going to also say friendships, not just co-workers. I don't like when I meet a guy and all of his friends are bad people, because why are you associated with people that aren't good? Another thing is like, why are you allowing people to influence your actions and behaviors? That is a red flag, because you don't have an identity if you're just taking on everybody else's opinions. I really, no. And the next one is when you act super arrogant, like you're hot shit, think you're rich, look down on people who aren't as fortunate. Success takes hard work, but you got to tone a mother effer down a bit and be humble. Yeah, I am very turned off, and it does give me the ick when someone shows off too much. I love a humble guy. I love someone where you don't know that they're wealthy, and then when you later get to know them, they're wealthy. And I think that that's really powerful in itself. I can't stand that. It just makes it seem like they don't really have the money when they act like that, or they just don't know how to, save. And that's an ick for me. Someone that doesn't know how to save. Another ick for me, and I know I'm going to kind of like get in trouble for this one, but I don't like when I'm trying to date someone or I'm thinking about dating them and they have children. That's not an ick, is the children part. But I don't like when the guy provides fully for the mother. I think it's okay to provide for the child and give a certain amount, but if you're funding the mother's life, like everything, her car, her house, so she doesn't have to work at all, it gives me such an ick, because then when you have a significant other that wants to come in, the mother of the child feels like she has some type of control, and she also feels threatened because she feels like it's going to take away the income from her. And I feel like there should just be a standard. This is what a child costs. This is how much the child needs. This is the child's lifestyle, but you do not need to be funding the mother's lifestyle also. I don't like that. I hate that. Never mind. I'm just like such a soft, or like whatever. It just bothers me so much when females get pregnant on purpose to try to have an income from someone. I don't think that children are meant to be brought into the world so you can live off of them. It really, really bothers me. That's what I mean by that. Okay, so should I read actually the icks that were on my phone? I have some more. Oh, my friend's mom answered one, so I'm going to say what hers is. People that are miserable in general, like nothing makes them happy. It doesn't matter if they have love in their life. It doesn't matter if they have money. They're just miserable. So just negative people. I agree. My friend Holly said bad hygiene. Yes. I feel like if you went and did an activity where like you have no choice but to like be sweaty and smelly, that's one thing. Or if you eat something and it makes your breath stink a little bit, I could understand that. But like if you have chronic bad breath or like chronic, stinky pits, I don't like that. I think it's disrespectful. Gross feet. I think dirty feet. You can't control what your feet look like, and a lot of people have ugly feet, so that one's a little harsh. But like if you get in bed and the person's feet are dirty, that's really not right. When the bottom is like black, and then no. Okay, let me scroll a little bit more. Oh, someone who doesn't feel inspired or isn't ambitious, that is an ick. Basically a lazy person. I agree with that. You gotta like have some type of motivation. Sorry. I shouldn't laugh at this, but someone said sending $50,000 to a fake Elsa Jean account. That's sad. I hope that didn't actually happen. I hope that really didn't happen. I'm verified on all of my stuff. Like, I don't know what else to do, and I never ask people for money. It's been 10 years. Okay, some of these people are just a little bit... Hair implants. That's messed up. I think that's messed up to say. Some people have no choice but to get hair implants. Eye boogers, somebody said it's an ick for them. These people are, man, it's harsh. It's harsh in this world. People that use the word ick. Okay, fine. I don't know what else you want me to say. Yeah, a lot of people about hygiene, smacking their mouths when they're eating. Yeah, I actually have to like get up and walk, like get out of the room if I can hear someone chewing really loud. It makes me like really angry. There's actually like a word for it when you can't stand someone chewing. A lot about hygiene. Man, people must be struggling with that. A girl said when a guy pretends he's being chased, acting like cocky and like a lot of women want him, but the girl could tell that nobody really wants them. Someone sent a selfie. That's funny. If they live in a filthy apartment, not cleaning up after themselves, big ick for me. I don't like that. I think it's obviously okay to have a housekeeper, but I also don't like when they leave just complete mess for the housekeeper to clean up everything. I think it's disrespectful. I think that they're there for like to make sure like all the cracks and stuff like that are clean and to like, but I can't stand when people let stuff pile up and just rely on other people to clean it up. Bad hygiene, bad hygiene. Alcoholism. Yeah, that's an ick for me. I don't like men that overdrink. It actually scares me. And I don't like people that overindulge in drugs. I'm not saying that drugs are okay, but like once in a while, maybe. I don't know. As long as it doesn't mess your life up. That's probably not good to say. But you guys know what I mean. Little weed spoken here and there is what I meant. Okay, let's do the next question. What are some ways that you love to strengthen your relationship with your partner? Surprise dates, random flowers, making dinner for them, drawing a bath with some candles, hell yeah. And a glass of wine. Who is this man? A female must have answered this. Having no secrets and building trust, like letting her have access to your phone 24/7. I don't think letting someone have access to your phone 24/7 is a smart thing, because if you're searching for something, you're going to find something. I will never, ever allow someone to have access 24/7. It's not that I'm against someone looking. I would never just like snatch my phone away if someone wanted to order themselves something or like they needed to, I don't know. You know how sometimes you're like, okay, just jump on my phone and send it to yourself or whatever is going on. But I don't want someone having my pass code again, and it's not because I'm scared that I'm gonna get caught with anything. It's just when someone is wanting that, it means that they're doing something wrong and that they're purposely gonna find something. But I love this surprise date nights. There's nothing for me better than random flowers. They make me so happy. I love that over any other gift. And the bath thing is really cute. Because I can't imagine coming home and like the bath's drawn and then you have candles and a glass of wine, glass of Opus One. That's my favorite wine for any men that want to date me and are listening. Someone said dancing while cooking. That's really cute. A lot of it is men saying that planning the dates or surprising their significant other with a date. I think that that goes really far in a relationship. It's really special for women if they don't have to pick the restaurant. We want to not think about those things, but we love those things. And I think that's really special. Someone says, always find some way to surprise and joy, no matter how small it is. I agree with that. I love, even when I'm traveling, just picking up something really small. It doesn't have to be expensive. Even going back to keychains or a magnet. I even bought a guy scratch off tickets. He loved it. He loved that I went into the gas station and bought like a $5 scratch off ticket. I think that just little small gestures, it doesn't have to be expensive. I think people just automatically assume that things got to be expensive to wow someone over. And for me personally, it doesn't have to be like that at all. For myself, some things that when I've been in relationships, and this is my secret weapon, I love to once a week and I would always say Fridays because it was easy for me to remember. But I would ask them, and my therapist taught me this, is there anything that you need or anything that you want to talk about before they would even bring it up to me? I'm not even saying that they have to be hinting that something's wrong, but I always asked once a week, is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything that I can do for you? And 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, because I can't think of one time that someone actually said like, oh yeah, can you go do? They just want to hear that you are thinking ahead. That really is my secret weapon. It goes so far. Just being like, is there anything I can do for you this week or like that you need done, especially if the person works very hard. I think taking a guy out on a date makes them very happy. When you don't got to do it all the time, but once in a while, if you pay and take them out, they really like it. It makes them feel so special. They feel like a little girl and they just want to get dressed up. And it kind of like, that song by Usher, Trading Places? Listen to it. That's what you got to do for them. I think also to strengthen the relationship is letting them talk to you without saying anything, letting them vent to you. Make sure they know that you're listening, but just let them ramble. And sometimes people need that. Sometimes you don't want to hear someone's opinion, or you are just telling someone because you need to get it off their chest about whatever's going on in your life. And it goes, again, a long way listening to people. Yeah, and if you just allow someone to talk to you and not say anything back, I really believe that they'll tell you how they want to be loved and they'll just let it out. And if you just listen well, it really strengthens your relationship, I'm telling you. Okay, I'm going to go through just some more Instagram messages really quick. Let me go back to the other one. My friend's mom keeps answering them. She's like, okay, he makes me laugh even though he gets on my nerves. And I know exactly who she's talking about. Obviously her husband. I love it. Okay, ways to strengthen the relationship. Late night talks. Opening up about insecurities and worries. Love it. That is a great way. Playing golf together. That's really cute. That's actually a good thing. Like doing an activity together that you guys both don't know, or like something that you guys can learn together, like a cooking class, golf lessons. But yeah, something that you're both interested in, or maybe even just one person is interested in, and then you will be surprised on what you end up liking. A lot of people say small gestures and just communication. I mean, almost every single one is about talking and communication, deep chats. People need to be heard, and they need to also speak out what's bothering them. And it really is a bonding experience when like another person says long, deep conversations. And honestly, it feels good to bond with someone that you feel like you can't tell anybody else. People love it. Try to be that person's number one supporter. Oh my God, someone said narcotics. Doing drugs together? Sorry, no, we're not supporting that. Wow, geez. Maybe they answered the wrong one. Maybe they meant that for the ick, because that is an ick. Let's see. Helping each other. You know what's an easy thing is if you just think of the love languages, that can help. Like if you're trying to think of something like acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. For me personally, I love words of affirmation. I love hearing that like somebody's proud of me or like, compliments me. That is my love language for sure. So if you're trying to think of ways to bond, just look at those 5 things, and that could easily pop something in your brain to do. But yeah, thank you guys. I love answering your questions. I love doing these solo episodes. Sometimes it's hard when I'm having a guest and, there's only limited time. So I love just doing these where I can answer a bunch for you guys. So stay tuned for my next solo episode.